Hey, this is Jason Kanigan from Make Space Boring, the quick update on who I'm meeting and what I am studying in the space world. So, this is episode number 42. It is for Friday. I didn't do one earlier this week. I was gonna, but I got stuck. This is the 24th of April, 2020, and I am releasing 2 Cold Star Project full format episodes this week, interviews. The first was with Nicole Shumaker, who is a research specialist with Texas A&M, and our focus was lunar construction methods. Always fun and really weird because things on the moon just don't work the way that you expect them to. The second episode that came out Thursday was with Dr. Andy Aldrin. We've had him on before, but this time our topic was near and dear to his heart, which is not that the first one wasn't, but this one was about his doctoral thesis, he was a Soviet expert. And so this one is a look at entrepreneurship in the most unlikely of places, which is in the Soviet Union. And the topic is how the Soviets beat the Americans into space with the Sputnik launch. And it is an odd tale. It's very, very interesting. I love history. I love finding out about these people and with the systems that they were forced to interact in a lot of the time and how they produced a very good result despite challenging circumstances. Let's see. I recorded with a number of people this week. In fact, I can't even mention some of them yet because they haven't officially come out. But I recorded, first of all, with Dennis Wingo, who has been around forever. I always see him popping up, especially on Twitter and that, commenting on things. And he is a wise guy when it comes to, and I don't mean a mafia wise guy, I mean a guy with wisdom. In the space field. Been around a long time, had a much more capitalist point of view than I thought, which I love. We talked about space futures market, materials futures market. I love that, space resources futures market. I think it's the coolest thing. Urlings, who's a guy in the Netherlands who's interested in the Internet of Things as regards to satellites. I must confess, my experience with IoT terrestrially has not been that good. There's a lot of what I consider frivolous applications. Who needs a smart fridge, and that kind of thing. And we addressed that. And so, once again, kind of like Rick Ward, where we started off, what the heck do people need that for? And I think those two should connect, actually, by the end of the episode. I'm on board. We need this sort of distributed communication system with satellites that Ub is talking about here, and he's really having an impact with his organization and helping food supply, water supply, farmers, and I'm a guy who thinks about things like how do we get food into the cities to feed people, and what do we do to keep the water purified to keep people alive, right? This stuff's important to me, and I think most people just go on their daily lives without really thinking about it. And this morning, I was up early as far as podcasting goes to talk to Craig Clark of AAC Clyde Space, who I have wanted to interview for a long time, and it was a really, really good session. And I have had copious amounts of coffee since then. And I think I'm going to crash in a little bit, but I wanted to get this done. I have booked with Christopher Newman, who is a UK space lawyer. Really fun guy, very friendly. I really enjoyed talking to him. That was courtesy of Michael Lissner, who's another space lawyer, who I asked for a recommendation. Who would you talk to? And so I had a chat with Chris yesterday on Thursday. And yeah. He's a jolly fellow and fun to meet and talk with him. Knows all the people that I've learned to know and enjoy. And so we'll be talking, when are we doing that? It's coming up quick. Yeah, end of the month. We're doing that on the 30th. So that should come out fairly soon. Also, I can't get out of here without a plug for the second Make Space Boring virtual conference. We have an amazing lineup of speakers. Really, these are cool folks. And if you're in the space field, I'm just going to haul up the page here to make sure I don't miss anything. You want to be on Thursday, May 7th, 2020, 1 p.m. to about 3:45 U.S. Eastern Time. And fun bunch of guests here. Dr. Marek Ziebart. We're going to talk about the impact of mega constellations with him. What's it going to look like in like a quarter century after we've thrown up all these CubeSats, small sats, satellites, the geo, into orbit? And man, some of the graphics that he has to share, because he did a study for the UK's Defence Science and Technology Lab to predict what this is going to do, what the impact is going to be on orbits and that. It's kind of scary, actually. And then you match that up with Dr. Marie Bajah thing about, hey, we don't really know how to track and predict where these things are going yet. It's a little freaky. Dr. Graham Lau, he's an astrobiologist, and we'll be looking at places on Earth that help us look for alien life. So you think like Titan or something like that, you know, or Europa, some kind of Jovian moon. It's cold and it's got fissures and ice, and yet there's, you know, lava blasts and heat and sulfur and all kinds of cool stuff. And so he'll be making those comparisons. Nicole Shumaker, who is our guest for the first Cold Star Project episode released this week, we'll be talking about introduction to lunar and planetary off-Earth planetary construction. I'm excited to have Bob Whearty on. The title of his talk is "You Can Insure That," which is about managing risk in the satellite insurance industry. He's a former satellite engineer for a long time who got into the space insurance business. A lot of us don't even think about that or know, hey, how does this work? So he'll be there to talk about that. And also Bryant Baker, JD, Dr. Juris Law there, right? Exploring the executive order on space resources that came out on the 6th. So Bryant's a Air Force JAG and a space lawyer, and he'll be talking about this executive order, which, while a brief one, especially from our president as far as missives from him go, is startlingly clear and created sort of a state of alertness around the world about, wait, what? Yes, and what it means, you know. So we'll be talking about that because it kind of repudiates some space treaties and acknowledges others. It says this is firmly where we stand as Americans in our point of view as far as policy goes. So Bryant will be explaining what that executive order actually does and why it matters and what it means to the future of space law and policy. So if you're interested in joining us for that, head on over to the link in the description below. I'll put it down there and you can go check that out. And man, don't miss it, because this is your chance, right? I go around and I shake the tree and get all these folks interested in sharing their bit of knowledge with you, okay? So take advantage of that. Come and meet them. There is Q&A for every single one of them. They want to hear from you and answer your questions. And I look forward to seeing you there. All right, that is it for me this week. I'm tired. I'll talk to you later.